Good evening, I am Ibrahim Sani and you're watching Market Talk. Oracle Corporation is the world's second largest software maker by revenue after Microsoft. They are a household name in the world of computing, but the landscape is changing rapidly in the world of information technology. Hewlett-Packard, Amazon, Alibaba and more are getting more aggressive in the cloud computing world. And with Oracle arriving late to the game, do they have what it takes to push through the competition? Joining me this evening is Fitri Abdullah, the Managing Director of Oracle Corporation Malaysia, to discuss this and more. Welcome to the show, Fitri.
Okay, thank you, Ibrahim. And also, it's a great honor, I think, to be on your show. Thank you very much.
It is actually quite fun having the boss of Oracle Malaysia on the show. I think, but the question now is quite serious, actually.
Yeah.
Oracle is indeed arriving late to the game, but because of the might and history that Oracle has, you're still this horse that people still want to bet on in terms of making it big in the cloud computing world. How do you rate yourself? How do you stack up amongst the competition in this regard?
If you look at it overall, in terms of the computing market space, we actually play in all the three stacks at the technology layer of infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, as well as software as a service. So we were a bit late, I think, in terms of the technology layers, but in terms of software as a service, we've been providing cloud services in the last 3-4 years. And if you look at our results, our Q4 results that came out in June, I think our financial year ended in May, we actually had tremendous growth, I think, in terms of cloud. I think we were about 62% year-on-year growth. And also just last week, I think we announced our Q1 results, where we actually grew our cloud revenues to 1.5 billion for the quarter, which was actually a 51% growth. So definitely there is strong growth, I think, that is happening, I think, in the cloud for Oracle. In fact, I think we are the largest growing cloud company at scale today in the world.
How much is the percentage of revenue is being used for R&D, particularly in building the cloud business?
So I think we do announce our investments in terms of R&D, and we are basically investing between 5 to 6 billion US per year. And a lot of it, I think, is now skewed towards the cloud. So I think that's the kind of innovations, the investments that we are putting in. And in fact, if you look at the cloud side, we are talking about putting in a lot of machine learning into all our software, either in the technology layer or also in the software layer. Yeah.
The machine learning business is indeed quite interesting, but some competitions of yours, for instance, Hewlett-Packard and IBM for that matter, so they haven't been able to push through and get a lot of corporate clients here in Malaysia. IBM Watson, for instance, so far only registered one corporate client. And is this a hesitation from the market? Or is it that this type of business is priced too high for corporates to buy?
My perspective is actually we are still in the early days of adopting AI and machine learning. So there will be bigger adoption as we go ahead. In fact, in about 10 days' time, we have our annual Oracle Openworld, where we will be announcing all our latest products and services. And I think our founder, I think Larry, will probably share our latest and greatest products, including our autonomous databases, I think, which will be launched, I think. So we will share that. And basically, it's a self-learning database which would require minimum management from the people side. So we will actually showcase our major product that will be using AI and machine learning in a big way.
Now, of course, the founder of Oracle, Larry Ellison, is a rather eccentric character, and he uses his platform, this Oracle World Day, as a place for you guys to showcase some of the key products that you have. But again, the question now is, there's a lot of players in the market, particularly in Asia. and you tend to have to rely on the existing customer base for corporate business and try to break through in the consumer business. And knowing now that the software business is indeed a sunsetting industry, even Microsoft acknowledges that fact, how would Oracle reinvent yourself amid this particular changing landscape?
So the big change, I think the big transformation that's happening in Oracle is actually moving the focus, I think, to cloud computing. So as I mentioned, we are in the game for infra as a service as well as platform as a service. And if you look at the platform as a service, we have a lot of our products which are actually in the magic quadrant for Gartner in terms of our database, our middleware, in terms of security, as well as software development. In fact, Java is also, I think, with the acquisition from Sun, actually, in a sense, I think we own Java. And so definitely we have a lot of strengths, as well as software as a service. So in terms of ERP, financial system, our CRM, as well as HR system, we have a whole slew of products, services that we are incorporating a lot of machine learning, plus also a lot of analytics, I think, into all our software at all stacks.
This is Oracle is a company that is rooted in the Silicon Valley landscape. It's one of those big companies that have done big and done good. And the question is bringing the business over to this part of the world, not just to Southeast Asia, but in Asia in general, with competitive might like Alibaba, who apparently has infinite amount of money to spend in terms of marketing and R&D. How important is it that this market is to the business of Oracle?
Definitely very, very important, I think. And as I mentioned, we play in the three stacks in terms of infra as a service, which is computing, networking, storage, platform, as well as also on the software side. So we have a whole products and services, and our key strategy is moving to the cloud because customers are demanding faster innovations. So with the cloud, typically the deployment time takes a lot faster. Plus, I think when they go to the cloud, they will get automatic updates, I think, every 3 months or 6 months from us. So definitely, I think it will help, I think, those companies, I think, be more competitive. And then clearly, I think we are in a digital economy where competition is very, very strong. And you need the best services, I think, to make sure that you are successful in this market. And coming back, I think, to the key point, because of this big shift to the cloud, we are setting up our digital hub in Kuala Lumpur to service Malaysia, plus 21 other countries in the whole Asia-Pacific region.
We'll take a short break, but when we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more about Oracle's digital hub. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Market Talk. I am your host, Ibrahim Sani. Today we're talking about Oracle. And of course, this is a company that has just celebrated your 40th anniversary. And with this in mind, after 40 years, Oracle has just set up the first digital hub in the Southeast Asian region, where it is based in Malaysia, servicing over 20 other countries within nearby markets. Let's talk more about the digital hub. What is this thing about, and what is it supposed to serve?
Okay, just to elaborate, I think Oracle has been in Malaysia for the last 30 years, and we are very excited, I think, that we will be doing our official launch for the digital hub, which will basically do the overall sales and operations to support the small and medium businesses across 22 countries, including Malaysia. So we announced, I think, in November last year that we have decided to set up this digital hub. And now, I think about 10 months later, I think we are very excited to officially launch this digital hub in Kuala Lumpur.
According to stats from the SME Corporation Malaysia, 90% of businesses in this country is SMEs.
Yes.
Extrapolating that, 80 to 90% of other businesses in other countries within the Southeast Asian region are also SMEs.
Yes.
So I can understand why you would pivot towards the SME market. But the biggest challenge that the SME market is currently facing is, of course, cost.
Yes.
How would this offering provided for by the Oracle business in terms of this digital hub present a cost-effective solution for these SMEs?
Okay, so first of all, I think, Ibrahim, I want to share that I think previously Oracle only focuses on the enterprise space.
Yeah, the big boys.
The big boys, the government and the enterprise space. But with this transformation, it actually enables Oracle to actually serve the small and medium enterprises. And the same software that today that we provide to the larger enterprises are now made available to the SMEs. Mm-hmm. And obviously, the selling motion for SME will also change. This is where the digital hub comes in, where we will be using a lot of digital tools in terms of social, LinkedIn, to engage with all these SMEs. So the cost structure to engage the SMEs also will have to be different, and the approach also needs to be different, which is where the digital hub comes in.
Alibaba has spectacularly launched the DTFZ, the Digital Trade Free Trade Zone, here in Kuala Lumpur, along with the Prime Minister a few months ago. And of course, their focus will be more on logistics, will be more on third-party solutions and third-party deliveries and goods and services. But something in me tells me that they're also trying to use that hub to promote their digital services out of Alibaba China. Do you see this as a direct threat and direct competition to Oracle's digital hub business, and will inhibit your growth in one way or another?
Okay. So if you look at the cloud ecosystem, it is still in the early stages. So we believe, yes, I think we would, in one instance, potentially some of our technology will be in the Alibaba cloud and also the digital free trade zone. But at the same time, it is a new market for everybody. So we are seeing, even for us, we are growing our cloud business at 51% at the worldwide level. So similarly, my view is I think these are all early days where there will be significant growth, I think, going forward for all parties.
Why Malaysia of all markets in terms of setting up this digital hub of Oracle?
First of all, I think Malaysia is an important market for Oracle, and we've been here 30 years. Second part is availability of good talents. And Kuala Lumpur has become more of an international city. Also good infrastructure in terms of broadband connectivity and transit and all those things, airports and all those things. Plus also, I think the benefit of cost structure. I think so all those things, I think, comes together, I think, where the final decision was made that to invest in this digital hub in Kuala Lumpur to serve 22 countries.
I want to pick up one of the elements that you mentioned just now, which is on talent. You say that Malaysia provides an excellent talent to work with. Is Oracle a good place to work?
So definitely, I think, and as I mentioned, I think it used to be, I think we would be servicing the larger boys, and we would need more experienced people, I think, in terms of dealing with them. With the digital hub, I think where we're servicing more SMEs, I think we are hiring, actually we have hired a lot more millennials and Gen Z, so, and you know, the gender mix and all that. So we have a more diverse mix of people, I think, in Oracle today, I think especially in Malaysia, where basically we have doubled our workforce because of the digital hub. So it is exciting times. And I've interacted with some of these new hires, and I see a lot of energy, and definitely they are bring a new spectrum of things, I think, into Oracle, and definitely exciting times for us.
We'll take a short break, but when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more on the consumer trends in the IT world. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Market Talk with me, Ibrahim Sani. Today I have with me a 40-year-old successful multi-billion-dollar company, Oracle Corporation Malaysia, speaking to the head of the Malaysian business, Fitri Abdullah. Again, when we left off just now, the digital hub of Oracle is posited towards gearing to help the SME market. And many years ago, my mother was a systems analyst in Johor Port at a time when people don't even understand her job title. And I'm talking about 1984, 1985, the year that I was born. Times have changed, of course.
Sure.
And the question now is the enterprise market is getting a little bit more leaner. Governments are trying to find more quicker solutions, cheaper solutions, and so would the big boys. Is this a key marker, a key step where Oracle is now departing the enterprise market?
Definitely no. So as I mentioned, I think with this transformation to the cloud for Oracle, we came from the enterprise space, and we will definitely focus on the enterprise space. And at the same time, the opportunity from the cloud side enables us to actually serve the SME. But it doesn't mean that we will defocus, I think, from the enterprise market. In fact, we will focus a lot more with them in their journey to the cloud. So if you look at it, I think from market stats, basically, they're saying from the enterprise IT side, about 6% of the total enterprise IT spend today is on the public cloud. Only 6%. And you've got 94% of the enterprise IT spend on the traditional on-prem solutions. The view is by 2015, 80% of the spend will shift towards the public cloud. And we are here, I think, to work with our enterprise customers, for which a lot of them are our customers in the banking space, the telcos, the government. We are right now engaging with them in terms of coming out with the journey, their own journey in terms of a hybrid cloud from on-prem to the public cloud. So it will be a journey going forward. And the key reason for that is they've made huge investments in terms of systems and applications on the on-prem world, which will need to be slowly but surely move more and more to the cloud. And the key benefits of the cloud, obviously, is faster innovation, plus the cost structure also goes down. So I think those are the key tenets of the cloud.
I've not met any player out there that would have a negative view on a cloud business. But the question is, there's so many players out there offering literally the same thing that Oracle is offering. There are competitive advantages for each and every single competitive player out there. Oracle probably have to rely on the trust and relationship that you guys have with these enterprise businesses. A more fickle market would be on the consumer space. They do not have that kind of trust and loyalty, say, for instance, an enterprise have. And because of that, you were mentioning that the shift by 2050.
2050.
Yeah, by 2050. That the shift would be more on public cloud. And it's a huge shift, 80% from where it is now. Do you think that Oracle has the necessary products and solutions right now to readily grow that market quite aggressively?
As I mentioned, we are a $40 billion company on a yearly basis. We do have healthy margins and cash flow to reinvest, I think, as we transform, I think, to the cloud. And also the results for Q4, Q1, I think it shows that we are executing quite well in terms of shifting our focus to the cloud. So I think those are positives. And then on top of that, we have a large customer base that we need to engage and move them slowly but surely, I think, to the cloud at their own pace.
A key tactical acquisition was on Java. You mentioned it just now, from Sun Microsystems. And Java, of course, has a direct impact to every single one of us. Most of our phones, for instance, computers, tablets, you name it, run on Java at one point or another. Do you think that such an infrastructure and framework would prove beneficial in growing your consumer market?
So if you look at Java, I think it's ubiquitous. I think it's all everywhere. It's being used by all developers in the whole market. So we make those technology available to everyone. So the view is, I think from our side, all our cloud offerings, I think, is all based on open standards, and we define all our open APIs to make sure that actually potentially we can also work with partners, I think, to integrate. So I think that has been the tenet from Oracle moving forward. So we are quite bullish that we do have a good strategy. We have the products and services. We also obviously growing our people. We have the clientele, I think, from the old on-prem world, which we are engaging, I think, to move forward. And it is about execution today, I think.
Some of your competitors, they are now funding startups and other partners and are behaving more of a VC or a PE even kind of outlook. Is this an area where Oracle would be looking at aggressively in the near future?
We are always in the lookout, I think for good companies to invest in. I think that's something at the corporate level, I think they will look at it. And I think we made several acquisitions along the way, I think, in this regard. Yeah.
My wife would hate me for saying this, but looking into the Oracle, what is the trend in the near future?
Cloud, I think. It's our whole strategy is on cloud first, and working closely with our customers to help them with their journey to the cloud going forward.
Right. Thank you very much for having me this afternoon. I've been speaking to Fitri Abdullah, the Managing Director of Oracle Corporation Malaysia. But that wraps up this edition of Market Talk. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 501 Awani. Download our app on the Google Play and the Apple App Store. And remember, you can listen to this interview on your podcast. Just search for either Astro Awani or Market Talk anywhere and everywhere you get your podcasts. I'm Ibrahim Sani. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.